Good. This is Kim's story interview. Take one.
My name is Kim Helton, and I currently live in Rossville, Indiana, and I have a horse. His name is Blanco, and we work together and we do riding lessons and work with people who have disabilities like myself, maybe a brain injury or emotional issues, and he's very good about helping those people and kind of bring them peace, and that's what I do. I've done a lot of things with horses, but that's currently what we do.
Awesome. All right, so what happened that changed your life forever?
Well, whenever I was 29, I was in a car accident. I was traveling for business. I was going down I-45, traveling towards the Houston area from Dallas. And they were doing a lot of construction on I-45. And they had all this powdered lime that was down, and the wind picked up and it blew it across the road. And whenever I went under that overpass, immediately my car was just enveloped in that white dust, and it was like somebody put a white piece of paper on all of the windows. And I knew that there were trucks behind me, and I knew I was in trouble. And then all I remember is just some loud noises, and my driver's seat broke off backwards, and I slid out of my driver's seat, even though I had my seatbelt on, and I was in the second seat. So luckily, the second seat was by the big window that was on the side of the van that had completely exploded out, so it was open. And I crawled out that window, and then as I start walking away from the van, it was just like seconds, and the whole thing exploded. The single hardest thing I think for me in the car accident was probably came later, whenever I had to sort of realize and accept that I had a head injury, a brain injury, because that meant that my whole life was gone. I honestly didn't see any reason to live. I mean, I wished, after the accident, there were many times that I wished that I had just died. I just thought it would have been easier. And the one thing that kept me from doing that was my personal faith. I'm a Christian, and that's the one choice we don't have to make as Christians is when we die. That's God's choice. And that is the only thing that kept me from completely giving up. Until I found my horse. He was something that I can add to that helped keep me going. And he came to my life in 2002. And that really gave me something to live for. I mean, from the second he came into my life, I was like, he's never going anywhere. He's my horse forever. He's got a home forever. I mean, he helped me so much. He's such a quiet, reserved horse, and he just never got out of sorts or anything. He's just really special. One of the things that my husband Dan and I do is we do work with a veterans group in the area called Mary T. Clinker. And Dan volunteers a lot with his blacksmithing shop and everything, and he does like shop days where he has guys come out, these disabled veterans, and make knives and things like that. And there was this one particular guy that was there, but he wasn't really into making the knives like the other guys were, and he was just kind of standing off by himself. And so I just was really drawn to him and tried to talk to him, and we were chatting about nothing really, just trying to make small talk. And I asked him, I said, well, have you ever been around a horse before? Have you seen a horse? And he's like, only in parades. And I was like, I promise, he won't scare you. You don't have to touch him. I'll bring him up here. And so I walked him up to the shop, or by the shop, and as he's sitting there, talking to me and touching Blanco and petting him, it's like all the insecurities kind of went away, and he just started telling me his story. And it was scary, but then I felt honored too that he would share his story with me, and the things that he told me, no human being should have to go through that. And as he's telling me these things, you know, I notice tears are coming down his face, and I couldn't believe this. And I'm actually watching him as he's talking to me have a sort of peace come over him. And I said, you know, it's almost time to feed. You want to walk down here with me and help me? At this point, he's in love with him. And he's like, yeah, I would love to. And so we go down there and I'm feeding him, and he looks at me and he said, you know, I don't even know your name. And I just told you things that I've never told anybody else. And it was, I mean, that very second I realized, you know, maybe this was where it all comes together. My love of horses and everything that I have gone through and consequently also learned over the years to be able to have this knowledge that I didn't possess before and probably never would have. Maybe this is where it all comes together. I mean, everybody is alive for a reason. If you get up in the morning and you put your 2 feet on the ground and you can breathe in and out, you have a reason to be here. There is a purpose. And if I can play even a small role, tiny role, in helping somebody to become motivated, to get out of their house or get out of their little safe place that they've walled themselves in at, to find help so that they can get to the point where they can see that something's possible for them, that's what I want to do.